Hey you guys. So I wanted to do a video on healing and what it means to me. Because from as far back as I can remember, I've met a ton of people who ask me questions like, well, don't you want to walk? Or they'll tell me that they're praying for my healing. And especially when they pray for my healing, I don't like to disrespect that. So I just, stay quiet and say thank you. But in an effort to be real, I don't think that we ever need to be healed in that way. For me, especially because I was born with my quote unquote disability, I feel like I chose it to learn the many lessons that I'm meant to learn in my life. And I get to choose whether or not I look at it as an obstacle or an opportunity. And I've always looked at it as an opportunity. Even when I've faced discrimination, I use it as an opportunity to raise awareness and bring attention to it because I'm not the only one that's facing that. So, what ways can we heal then? Well, I feel like the physical just doesn't matter. What we can and can't do in life is limited only by our mind, our willpower, and our heart. That's where the healing needs to take place. Because you are limiting yourself in many different ways, and you may never be like everybody else or quote unquote reverse your disability or whatever, but you're not meant to. This world would be a very boring place if you weren't in it exactly the way that you are. So focus on the way that you're perceiving your life. Change that, and you won't want to change the rest. The way that you look at life has the ability to change your life. It's like Wayne Dyer says, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So, even in the moments when you want to change something, either in a relationship or in your actual physical body, think of what you can change on an emotional or a mental level, or even a spiritual level. That's where, and I've mentioned this in another video before, that's where the quote unquote paralysis really is. You're mentally paralyzed from seeing the good. You're emotionally paralyzed because of an event that affected you on an emotional level. You're spiritually paralyzed because maybe you've been trying to take too much control of your life and not surrendering and not trusting and having faith. And it happens to all of us. But you can always change that just by examining what's going on inside of you. And as a side note, even if it's somebody else, like let's say it's a relationship that needs healing, it's not always wise to physically get up and leave. I mean, sometimes you need that just for a few minutes, but what's going on emotionally and mentally and spiritually within you that's being triggered? You know, when I was working with a life coach, she said, remove the button. If there's no button to push, you're not going to get aggravated. You're not going to get upset. You're not going to get pissed. So the healing always needs to come from within you. And then the rest will fall into place. And what doesn't get quote unquote fixed, you won't care about. You'll look at it completely different. And this may take a while. It's something that I remind myself in relationships and life. There's no harm in needing a reminder. I shouldn't say I remind myself. I get guidance that reminds me. So just make yourself aware of that. Take a step back and say, okay, what am I resisting spiritually, mentally, emotionally, that's causing this not to work in my life, that's causing me to feel this way? And then your life will start changing. Might not happen right away, like I always say, but breathe, have faith, and give it time. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, please share it with somebody, and I'll see you guys next time.